So again, I'm kind of at a loss for words after this game. It wasn't all bad. It was actually a very, very entertaining hockey game. But you just can't help but walk away with a sour taste in your mouth after this game. Now we'll just break it down quickly because, to be honest, there isn't, again, a whole lot to really talk about aside drilling home the same points that I continue to make game after game, because it's the same players who are performing and it's the same players who are underperforming. But the first period was solid. Decent back and forth game. Tuukka Rask continues to give this team every chance to win. Again, I continue to praise him, deservingly so. Obviously, he had the really rough start to the season, but he and Gustafsson, really, Gustafsson's had a couple of little blips, a couple of goals you'd like to have back, and of course the one game where he was pulled. But this goaltending tandem continues to give this team every chance to win, and it's looking promising for the future too, because Malcolm Subban down in Providence has really been rolling in his last 5 games. So goaltending is not going to be an issue for this team anytime soon. But the first period was nice. The Bruins dominate the faceoffs, but it's pretty even in shots. We go to the second period. Jimmy Hayes, with a nice play, gets a piece of the puck, skates into the zone, and fires a wrister past Henrik Lundqvist midway through the second period. Ryan Spooner, his 20th assist on the play, Chara's 17th, and a 10th goal now for Jimmy Hayes. This season, he's rebounded very, very well after being scratched early on, and hopefully he can continue this consistency. I don't know what the majority of people's expectations are for Jimmy Hayes. I imagine you would expect most people, or at least most people would expect, for him to turn into Lucic. Of course, his ceiling was 30 goals. Can Hayes reach that? I don't know if that's realistic, but if he could reach 20 in his first season here in Boston, I would certainly be content, but I'm happy to see him turn it back on. Third period, Kevin Miller in the defensive zone. And you already know where this is going, don't you, folks? Third period, Kevin Miller tries to chip the puck around. In fairness, it takes a weird bounce, kind of bumbles around off of Pasternak, gets chipped back down, puck dragged through. I don't know if it went through the legs of Miller. Point being, the puck got around him. I think it was McDonough or Zuccarello. Either way, puck in front. Derek Brassard, 35 seconds into the period, puts it in the back of the nets. Really shifting the momentum of this game, because by the midway of the period, the Bruins, again, the same tendency we have seen all goddamn season. They just turtle up. There was no counterattack. The best teams in the league counterattack. Chicago, Dallas, Washington, they counterattack. But the Bruins, for some reason, whether they're winning, losing, tied, it doesn't matter. They get content with just getting the puck away from the opponent in their defensive zone, chip it out, line change, rinse, wash, repeat, and it is so goddamn frustrating. They eventually get scored on within 2 minutes left in the third period. Keith Yandle takes a slap shot. Jesper Fast with an amazing deflection, unreal hand-eye coordination. The Rangers win it 2-1. The Bruins pushed back in those last 2 minutes that they had, or the last minute and a half that they had, which is the effort they should give all fucking game, but they don't, and they lose because of it. Henrik Lundqvist, Tuukka Rask have a goalie duel, and the team in front of them, who was better? It was New York, and New York wins the game, and rightfully so. Did all of that last sentence make sense? No, probably not. But then again, it also doesn't make sense for this professional hockey team to continue to make the same goddamn mistakes. I just don't get it. But when talking about the individual players, of course, Rask had a solid game, gave the Bruins a chance to win it. Jimmy Hayes, decent game, gets the goal, not too bad. Brett Connolly continues to be perhaps the most snake-bitten man in the NHL. Had an amazing chance on Lundqvist, couldn't get it to go. Please remember, when criticizing Connolly, that he wasn't a Don Sweeney pickup. He was a Peter Chiarelli pickup, which honestly, Bruins ownership should have kicked Chiarelli out the fucking door the second they traded a second-round pick for Brett Connolly. No disrespect, I love the guy's effort. Defensively, he's better than I thought he was going to be, which perhaps isn't saying too much. But the guy can just not get this goddamn monkey off his back, and it is just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So frustrating. Louis Eriksson, again, continues his trend. He's somewhat invisible if he's not actually on the scoreboard. Max Talbot, in fairness, the fourth line looked good tonight. I thought Max Talbot, guys like him Landon Ferraro, Eunice Kemppainen, despite Kemppainen being a -1. I thought they gave good effort tonight. Even Zach Ronaldo, healthy scratch, he's kind of bouncing in and out of the lineup. I thought he gave a good effort tonight, really good pace. Do I wish he was in the lineup every night? No, I certainly don't. I wish they certainly didn't trade a third-round pick for him, but he's here, and this is the type of effort he has to give in order for him to be effective. Whether or not that continues, probably not. Defensively, I thought it was fine for the most part. Chara, Sides, Krug, Colin Miller weren't all that bad. Zach Trotman as well. Kevin Miller, it's so frustrating. You can see that this guy has at least the potential to be a competent top 6 NHL defenseman, but he just cannot piece it together consistently. You don't believe me? Look at all of his advanced stats. I want you to do the research on this one. I won't link anybody on Twitter. I won't link any articles. Just go out there and look for yourself at just how Kevin Miller stands up to other defensemen this season. Forgot to mention a couple of people. Of course, Bergeron was all right. Marchand was all right. Bolesky, of course, gave great effort. Ryan Spooner continues to step up in absence of David Krejci. His effort and his impact on this team right now cannot be understated, and if he continues to do this, the Bruins will still potentially be in good shape. But obviously, right now, goal total is a little bit shaky and inconsistent, as it's been all season, really. But overall, the Bruins and Rangers rivalry in the past couple of years has been amazing, dating back to March 24th, 2007. 24 of the last 32 games between these teams have been decided by at least one goal. Of course, that trend continued, and I'm sure it will continue that way in the future. These teams kind of in a similar spot right now. Obviously, the Rangers started off the season very hot, and they're trying to get back into that good pace. Very tough for them, with Washington surging to the top of the standings, kind of like the Bruins, where they hit a nice little stride. Certainly not equal to what the Rangers have done, but they hit a nice little stride, and then all of a sudden, right when it looks like they might be able to take the top of the division, a team surges. That, of course, being the Florida Panthers. And as we look ahead, the month doesn't get any easier. The Bruins now with a 21-15-5 record, still 2 games at hand on Montreal, and still 2 points back, but they are now a full 10 points back of the Atlantic leading Florida Panthers, who of course lost to Vancouver tonight, but still the Bruins have 2 games at hand. I don't know what the hell is going to happen with this team. Just find some consistency. Certain players really need to step up. It's the same old shit. It's the same old shit. No question of the game this time out either, because again, it would just be the same old questions and the same old shit, and none of it's changing. This team just continues to trot along, and we'll see where they end up near the end of February towards the trade deadline, hopefully still in a wild card spot and in a position to improve their team. But that is it for this one, guys. If you've enjoyed, leave a like down below, subscribe for more. Of course, recaps after every single Bruins game, and I will see you all next time.